What's up, nerds? So, coming at you today because I had seen this article and I wanted to talk about it. It's a little older and everything, but I wanted to talk about it because it kind of annoyed me when reading it, and I really don't like the way things are when it comes to certain types of content. For instance, this is about Chilla and Bluey, and it talks about how dads are, they're weird, especially they're saying in Chilla because they're teaching lessons about dead white people. So I'm going to jump over to this article real quick, and we're going to read this article, and I know some of you are going to freak out. So let me just read this article. So this is from the Daily Wire, and I know some of you are all like, the Daily Wire, what are you, a Republican? And I'm not. But the thing is, so this Chilla show, let me just explain real quick before I read this article. Hold on, let me explain real quick. So I like Chilla. I also love Bluey. I think that Bluey is a wholesome show. I love the lessons that it teaches you. And it teaches a lot of like adult lessons. For instance, for instance, there was one that talked about like how to teach kids about infertility in women, because Chili's sister can't have kids. So she doesn't talk to Chili for years. And it just teaches children at home that some women can't have babies. And it does it in a way that I thought was like hardcore, but at the same time, very well done. I think it shows the parents in a good light, and I don't think that it shoves a message down your throat. I don't want my kids to get an agenda while they're watching TV. Daily Wire put out a children's program app called GEEK. And they touted that because it was in contrast to Disney, who had their not-so-secret gay agenda. I don't like agendas being pushed on my kids. I don't like it, and I don't want anything to do with it. And when that happens, I just go, all right, maybe I need to take a step back. But anyway, so they put out GEEK. Oh, and another reason why I got it was because my wife had told me a story. Like we put the TV on, and my kids were watching it, and my wife was doing whatever she does around the house. Cooking and cleaning, women's work. And she said that she heard on the TV while my children were watching what they were watching. It was some Roblox thing. I think it was probably some YouTube channel or whatever. And the person said she heard, your mommy and daddy are bad. Don't trust your mommy and daddy and everything. And she came in and she was like, what are you watching and everything? And turned it off and everything. And it just got me really worried that I shouldn't have to sit my children down or leave the room and worry about what my children are watching. And so I bought GEEK and I watched this Chilla show. Now, a lot of people are bashing it, saying it's, AliExpress version of Bluey. And maybe that's true. But at the same time, the show is fantastic. So I'm going to hop back over to this article real quick, and I'm going to read it, and I want to talk about it because the New York Times, some asshole writer, decided to attack Chilla for reasons that are just so stupid and everything. So let me just real quick pull this article up. There it is. I'm over here, guys, just in case you wanted to see my beautiful face. So, all right, so this is from the Daily Wire. And I grabbed this one because, and this is an older story, but I just saw it recently, and I was like, you know what, I have thoughts, and I really want to talk about it. So it says, social media erupts with praise for Chilla after New York Times attacks show for depicting weirdly present father who teaches lessons about dead white people. I mean, like, I don't know why there's this thing to attack fathers and say, like, and attack the fact that some fathers are present in their kids' lives. I really don't get that way of thinking. I try my hardest to be present in my children's life, and I really don't like that. I really don't like being attacked because I'm trying to be a good dad. Okay, so back to this fun article. Okay, so it says, many people on social media reacted with praise to GEEK's top kids show Chilla Tuesday after the New York Times published a piece targeting the series for depicting a weirdly present father, which, I mean, like, is being present weird now? Is that the thing? I'm now weird because I'm present in my children's lives? In Times piece published on Monday, after Amanda Hess, which, by the way, I looked up Amanda Hess after reading this story. This is the thing. I'll pull up the little thing because they have a Twitter account that has a piece of the article, and I'll read that to you. But I tried to pull up the article on my computer, and I had to pay for it. And I'm not paying for that crap. I'm not going to pay to listen to Amanda Hess tell me how, being present as a father is horrible. Looked her up. It doesn't look like she has children, but she's married to a little soy boy that works there at the New York Times with her. And they can both suck my dick. And I mean that literally because I like getting my dick sucked. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, okay, as I was saying, criticized portrayals of the fathers in Chilla and the popular Australian series Bluey as fantasy because they are active and engaged with their children. The New York Times writer also suggested that the dad in Chilla is the worst offender of the two because he teaches lessons about dead white people. Oh no, dead white people. They're so horrible. Us white people will come to get you. Remember, folks, Ben Key's Chilla is extremely problematic because it teaches kids about dead white people. Like, many of the greatest heroes of all time. The Daily Wire editor Ben Shapiro posted on X. Also, it is now extremely patriarchal for dad to be involved with educating the kids per the New York Times latest critique of Chilla. Better to trans them, obviously. And Ben Shapiro, I don't really know him overwhelmingly. I mean, sometimes I'll watch it. Like, I watched his Barbie review and stuff like that. If he reviews a movie, I'll do that stuff. I'm not really, that inclined to all that stuff. But so, and by the way, this Amanda Hess chick, obviously her father was not present, and that's her problem, not mine. But it's bad. Okay, so it says, I hate Chilla because the dad isn't a lazy idiot and the mom does housework. Also, I hate my kids, the New York Times Daily Wire host Michael Knowles wrote. Which is kind of how I feel. I'm just like, I'm sorry. Is that what it's come to these days? I'm now being punished because I like spending time with my kids. You know what I did with my son the other day? Hold on, let me pull this. Let me get my face up. And you know what I did with my son yesterday, as of filming this? He came into my room and I was on my phone. I was just like reading, like an idiot. And he just wanted to like wrestle. So I kept picking him up and like throwing on the bed and like slamming him down like a wrestling match. It was pretty fun. And am I now a dickhole dad because I'm spending time with my kids? Like, that's what I don't understand about this crap, and I don't like it. I don't like this whole if you're a present father thing, you're bad news bears. It's so bad. So it says, love it. The New York Times has become so morally deformed, it's almost cruel to laugh at them, but I'll try my best, Daily Wire host Andrew Klavan added. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know who that is. Klavan. I don't know who that is. Popular X account End Wokeness also chimed in, writing the New York Times is mad at Ben Key's Chilla because the dad homeschools and teaches his kids about dead white people. By the way, those dead white people are George Washington, Neil Armstrong, Ben Franklin, etc. Which, if you ever watch that show, it's fantastic. And I just want to say right now, he says he's a does he say he's oh no, he just says he homeschools. Let's just pretend, and you know what's crazy is, I don't homeschool my kids, but if I did, you would teach them about these things. George Washington is the first president of the United States, the country I live in. You should learn about that stuff, And I think that it's just, this is really upsetting and just so stupid. All right, sorry, I didn't pull it down earlier, but let me pull it up around. It says, they are also fuming that the show has a father figure play the central role. And Wokeness added. Yeah, and so here's this. I'm not going to pull up this tweet. I'm just going to leave this right here. But again, it's not bad. So let me just real quick, I pull up this real quick. This is what he has in here, and this is from the New York Times. Again, I tried to get the article, but they wanted me to pay for it, and I was just like, I'm not paying for this stuff. So it says, with Chilla, conservative parents can fulfill a fantasy of their own. I'm not conservative. I'm not a Republican. I'm not conservative. I do have some conservative. I'm a libertarian, so I do share some battleground, some stomping ground with Republicans and conservatives. But I'm not exclusively conservative. So I hate when people say that stuff. And to fulfill a fantasy, combating the perceived indoctrination of public school by screening homeschool themed content afterward, featuring lessons about dead white people and classic texts. In Bluey, the puppies lead the games, but in Chilla, it is the dad who is in charge, directing his compliant kids to roleplay Moby Dick and Fall of the Roman Empire. I suspect that Benke made Chum Chum the school teacher not because it's a modern choice, but because it puts male authority at the center of the show. Which I also go, I don't see a problem with that. I really don't, Amanda. Listen, sweetheart, maybe you need to, I have a feeling your children aren't going to be as educated. Others on social media piled on the Times for a piece while praising Chilla for entertaining children through good values, which I agree with. Like I said before, you may not be conservative, but I think the values that these shows do, and they're wholesome. It's like, it's one of those things like, I don't have to worry about my kids when I leave them in front of Chilla. And they love it, by the way, because they love chinchillas, and my daughter wants one for a pet. And I'm like, absolutely not. But I don't understand. It's, again, this is just ridiculous. The New York Times should be ashamed of themselves. Chilla is a fantastic show, and I don't know why I'm surprised people are upset that there's a show that promotes weirdly present fathers. I watch every episode with my kids. Love the work Rob Schneider 1X user post. Yeah, I watch with my kids too. I watch Bluey with them too. In fact, they're getting sick of Bluey because I love watching it so much. I like watching Bluey by myself, because it's so good. And Chilla is just as good, in my opinion. Another person credited the New York Times for facilitating Chilla's introduction to his children. My two little ones love Bluey. I will definitely be introducing them to Chilla as well, Josh Kane said. Maybe I owe a little gratitude to the New York Times for facilitating the introduction of Chilla to my children. Kind of weird seeing New York Times advertised for the real Daily Wire like this, another person wrote on X. As a parent, hearing them compare Chilla in the same breath as Bluey is high praise, LOL, which I agree 100%. Again, I love Bluey, so the fact that they're saying Bluey is pretty much, Chilla is pretty much the same as Bluey just makes me go, oh, so you're saying watch it then. So after the New York Times piece was published, the Daily Wire co-founder Jeremy Boring, is his name Boring? That's sad. Responded writing, Chilla is the most popular show on our new Benke platform. And Bluey is the most popular children's show, period. Boring added, it's no coincidence that two shows that feature loving and engaged nuclear families with great values who actually enjoy being together are so popular. True. I agree with this Boring guy. Boring. Man, that sucks that it's his last name. Anyways, he went on to note how it's no coincidence that the cultural gatekeepers at the Times are targeting these particular programs. The left not only wants to add its radical agenda to kids' entertainment, they want to remove good values from kids' entertainment, Boring said. And I agree with that to some extent. I think that when it comes to, children's programming, I am very much an advocate for letting kids be kids. I don't let my kids on the internet. The YouTube stuff that they watch is on that Fun Kids app on Roku. So I'm assuming, which they didn't do it because there was a Roblox episode for some YouTube channel that it said that don't trust your mom dad stuff. But I do like having wholesome content that I can set my kids in front of and I don't have to worry about it. And I think that the New York Times and this Amanda Hess should be really ashamed of herself for writing this article, because I don't think there's anything wrong with present fathers and engaged fathers. I don't think there's anything wrong with teaching history, especially if it's about dead white people. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with wholesome programming or the Daily Wire's children's programming. And I think that this, again, this Amanda she obviously has maybe some dad issues. I don't know, but it's just really sad that she would say this. And she should be ashamed of herself. And it's just really upsetting. It really is upsetting. All right, you guys. Well, that's all I got for you on this little video. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? Do you watch Chilla and Bluey? And what do you think about this whole thing about present fathers in our animated shows and stuff for kids? I think it's great. I think the New York Times is horrible for attacking this show and attacking the idea of a nuclear family, present fathers, all that stuff. I think that it's just sad with their sad little lives, and they're just big losers because of it. And I'm proud to be a present dad. I can tell you right now, I'll say this and then I'll end the video, but I have found myself really enjoying spending time with my kids and spending time with my wife and my family all together. I really lately, that's why on my YouTube channel I haven't been posting as much as I normally do, because I just really love spending time with them. It's great. It's so much fun. I get a lot out of it, even though, and I couldn't express how much it's great, and you should do it too if you have kids and everything. Just spend as much time as you can, because eventually I won't get to do this stuff with them. All right, you guys, that's all I got for you and everything. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.